Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of Pit Pass Network interviews. Today, we are joined by Jeremy Clements, driver of the number 151 Chevrolet Camaro for his family-owned team for the Xfinity Series. So, thanks so much for joining us, Jeremy.
Oh man, thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, it's a great honor. So I guess recap your off season. You had a pretty monumental moment during your off season of welcoming your baby girl, Candy Wren Clements, to the family on January 4th. So, congrats on that.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Usually off season consists of trying to get away as much as I could, vacations or cruise, but there was none of that this year. You know, we were expecting Kennedy in December, beginning of January, and she came January 4th. So very blessed, and we got a healthy baby. So we were just really getting everything ready for that. Her nursery, everything. We've never had a baby, so me and my wife Courtney, we were just trying to get prepared as much as we could for all that. And honestly, she was miserable the whole time, so she didn't want to go do anything like me. Like I love to just go and do and have fun, but yeah. So now we got a baby girl. She's a month old. This past Sunday on the 4th. So just enjoying every moment of that right now.
Yeah, it's very awesome and an interesting story of how you and Courtney met, and got engaged. Well, not met, got engaged. Was that you guys proposed after doing some skydiving, actually, like when you guys landed. So I guess where did that idea come from initially?
Dude, I love doing anything adrenaline filled, adrenaline rush, roller coasters, whitewater rafting, jumping off things. I mean, whatever. So I'd never been skydiving. So I was like, hey, will you go skydiving with me? And, people are like, oh yeah, I'll go. But then sometimes, obviously, that falls through a lot. But I made it happen, and she did it, and I was like, oh, I got to propose then. So we'd been dating close to a year at that point, and yeah, as soon as we landed, uh, she got detached from the guy that she was on or whatever, and I got detached and got on my knees and proposed. So that was something we'll never forget, and we've been skydiving only twice now. We took my parents back like 2 years later. But it's definitely time to go again, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned your adrenaline rush. I got a 30 pack of NASCAR trading cards last night at Target. And it actually happened that you were one of the drivers in that pack. In the back
That's
of your
cool.
Yeah, then the back of the card actually mentions about your adrenaline rush. It says nothing beats a good adrenaline rush. Jeremy Clements gets it from racing and more. So I guess where does the adrenaline rush come from then?
Man, I don't know. I guess just being a kid, like I was just a little maniac, just climbing trees and wanting to ride go-karts fast and four-wheelers and just anything to chase that adrenaline rush you get. But I guess I don't know. I guess I've been that way my whole life. Really, I don't really know where it came from. It's just the way I've always been, and I love. Guess that's why I love driving a race car because you get to go that fast and get that sense of speed and then adrenaline you get from it.
And then going back to the proposal, interesting question here. Were you more nervous of the proposal itself or the skydiving? Because not everyone has the guts to go skydiving.
Definitely the proposal part. I mean, I didn't think she was going to say no, but just doing it and not butchering my words or anything or looking dumb because it was all on video. So I wanted to look, you know, uh, kind of really. I mean, it doesn't even feel. It's kind of feels like it's kind of not even real. Like you're just floating through the air really fast, and then you pull the parachute, and bam, it's done. So it happens pretty quick, but it's so much fun. I love to. I said earlier, I want to go again. Heck, one day just be able to do it by myself too.
Yeah, I'd give you applause for that because I've never skydived before, so I don't know if I ever do that. Um, but I guess
You should try it.
maybe from you for telling me that now, maybe I'll do it now. For
That's right.
motivation
That's right.
factor. Um, but I guess transitioning to the season now, like how motivated are you t for the season to kick off? Like, has the off season felt like it's been taking forever to go by?
You know what? It went by pretty quick, honestly. I mean, I feel like we just ended in Phoenix, and then I did some stuff with our partners, Texas and Austin, um, and then I've been working hard at the shop all the time. The guys have been working so hard to prepare for everything, and we've been on the simulator a lot every week. So it's went by pretty quick. I mean, January to me always kind of goes by slow. It's a long month, man. It's like, so how many days is in January?
Yeah, you're just trying to get through
So
the
besides that,
yeah, you're just trying to get
do
through the
what?
winter season, basically, like
Yeah,
the coldness and
yeah. I
such.
mean, once we get past Thanksgiving and Christmas, I mean, we could push fast forward for me. I'm not a winter guy. Like I like the heat, the sun, and all that. So I'm not a cold weather guy. But yeah, it went by pretty quick, and it's kind of stressful right now because we're just things kind of coming together, and you hope you don't miss something. And a lot happens at first race. More so, in my opinion, more so than the others till the playoffs. So lot just all the interviews, all the new stuff you got to do for the your new sponsors and suits and just everything. So there's a lot that goes in it before you even get to the racetrack.
For sure. And then I guess you have time now. You had time during the off season to digest what happened, or how did you guys perform in the 2023 season? So I guess what do you think your team needs to improve on from the 2023 season for the 24 season now?
It was rough. I mean, we had so much bad luck. We had some fast cars at all kinds of different tracks with good finishes, plenty of few top fives and a bunch of top tens that got taken away last few laps. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just so frustrating. But then there was other times we just flat out missed it. Last year was the first time we ever got to mess with the simulation and the simulators and all that. And some of the time we were in left field with that, and then other times it helped us. So just trying to battle through all that, get better, but definitely feel like all that will be better this year. Obviously, hoping it will, but I feel very confident about that. We're sharing more information with the other Team Chevy people, so that's definitely helpful. So besides different things like our body and aero, an engine maybe, uh, we should be on the same stuff on that simulator. So that's what I'm saying. We should be a lot closer, but I don't know. We've got another car together, so we got four short track intermediate cars. We got two road course, two speedways, and I think. I mean, I know this year is going to be extremely challenging, but I know we can do it. We've done it before. We can fight hard. We can be right there on a really good day for us. We can battle for the win.
Yeah, I saw or I heard you say that that you're sharing with some other Team Chevy teams, and I saw that Hendrick Motorsports is going to help. I saw an article like maybe up to 20 races. So I guess how big is it for like a small team like you guys to have that type of funding or help from other teams?
Well, we're doing 22 races with a Hendrick engine, like you just said, and that's thanks to our all our many good partners that all our partners are our friends. So it's so much fun to have people you want to be around and have fun with, and they've been able to bless us because they've been blessed in their business. So I'm just it's just a lot of fun to have people that believe in you. That's what it all comes down to. So wanted to make the step to try to get some more speed under our Chevys, but we built our own engines here at this shop right behind me, but it's just tough to put it together week in and week out. Did it cut out again?
Uh, can you hear me, Jeremy?
Yeah, I hear you. Just the
I
video
got you
stopped.
now.
Kind of. Okay. Sorry. I, there you are. Yeah. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I got you
Um,
now.
yeah. So I mean, like our engine shop, they do dirt late model engines full time, and we've always built our own engines because it saves obviously a ton of money. But we've definitely been behind, and I just want the best I can possibly get because they could build uh, a great engine for sure. It's just it's not what they do full time. So I needed to make this move to try to get the best thing I can to have under the hood. Uh, and my goal is to do the full season. Hopefully next year we could be there with that.
For sure. And we're talking about the year coming up, 2024, but I guess transitioning now 20 years back in 2004, you had a little scary or pretty big scary situation where you injured your right hand in a late model race as a result of a broken drive shaft piercing through the vehicle or your vehicle and actually required 10 surgeries afterwards. So I guess explain the process of, because I think you were sidelined for like a year or so, and just explain to
Yep.
me that process and where it's got to you now.
Man, it was awful. I mean, it was something didn't see that coming, but we were dirt late model racing and we were kind of ARCA racing and that let's see, that year I think was our first Xfinity race. But anyway, the yeah, we went got to 311 and raced that night. We raced night before, got there late, missed practice, running bad in the race really. Not where we usually run up front and going straight, the drive shaft just broke at the end of the race, like 5 laps to go. And man, it's like an explosion in the car. And looked down, and my hand is just hanging there. It was just my arm's going a different way. So I got out of the car and just fell, and then the ambulance came and got me, took me to the hospital, and did like an 8 hour surgery right off the bat. And it was yeah, it was terrible, man. It was awful. They had to sew my hand and my hip for a month and get tendons from my right foot, bone graft from my hip, lot of misery and pain and all that in that year. And the doctors are like, hey, you'll never race again. And I'm just like, ah, you're wrong. Just do your best work here, doc. Come on, man. So we were blessed with good doctors for sure. The Lord put us with great doctors, and they were able to make my hand better. And I can't get in a fist fight with it. This thing is pretty fragile. If I hit it against a table or a wall, it's a lot of parts and pieces in it. So it's just made me change my approach with things. I use my left hand more for stuff. I write with my right hand, but like bowling or um, just different things you do with your. I've taught myself to do with my left hand. So uh, that's a memory now. Moved on, and everything's been good with it ever since.
Yeah, definitely everyone at the NASCAR industry is all really like thankful that you're still racing today, and but such a great story of like the perseverance to come back now. And I guess like if 5 or so years later you opened the team in 2010. So I guess what was it's family owned, and I guess what was the motivation factor of initially to start up a race team in the Xfinity series?
We were racing, like I said earlier, dirt late models and ARCA a lot, and we won a race in '07 at Nashville. We should have won Pocono the week before, ran out of gas coming to the line, and McDowell won, and Josh Wise was second. We were third, but we were running ARCA and running up front, small team, still same deal, and then it was just financially, man, it was terrible. We needed to do something different to sustain it, or else we weren't gonna be able to do that anymore. So we're like, I guess we'll go try this and see what happens. And bought some older cars from different teams, and at least in the Xfinity series, you could go race and try to you wouldn't go in the hole. So we just started doing that, and man, it's tough as hell at first. I mean, it's so rough. I mean, just starting out back then, and old cars, old equipment, old engines, everything. So it was uphill battle for sure. And there was times I was like, I don't even know why we're doing this. It's just too much. It's too hard. Like for us to try to even race against these guys the way when it's too much. But kept uh, kept digging, and then 2011, that's when we went full time. So just been digging ever since. I don't know if I'm just dumb or I just love it so much. I don't know which one it is, but I mean, I just have that same sense of like I want to go out there and compete, try to win. I know I can do it. Obviously, got an uphill battle being a small single car team, but hey, we believe that we can potentially do it again. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, mean, I'm not gonna say here lie. I'd love to race for a big team and not have to worry about half the things I worry about right now.
And you mentioned one car organization. It's been like that from the very start. Has there been any like thoughts or motivations you ever had to expand to a two-car operation?
That's a great question. I would say potentially one day, maybe, but man, it's I look at like Ryan Sieg's deal. They're up to 3 or 4 cars. I like how they even do that. It blows my mind. I'm like, that's just so much. We have this small shop behind me, as you can see, and it's full. So we'd have. I mean, we really don't have a lot of places to put more cars. We have to hire more people, another hauler. Just it's a lot of stuff to think about. And honestly, I don't want to think about it because that's just more stress. I'd want to bring in somebody to try to run that. But yeah, there has been plenty of other drivers that have said, "Man, if you ever start another team, let's talk, and I come drive for you, bring my partners to you, and it would be fun. I just need more people and somebody just to manage it. 'Cause I don't want to. I mean, I have to manage this team, and it's stressful enough.
And then theoretically, if it would happen, what your car number is 51. What would be the second car number you would choose?
Oh, dude, I've never thought about that. Oh man, I really don't know. I've never had a backup number to be honest. I guess at first, like if I had a driver, I would be like, "Hey, what number do you like that's even available?" Um, I don't know. I've never thought about that. I don't even like I said, I don't even know what's available. But I've been a 51 guy. I'm looking at there's a flag right here with 51 on it, looking at on the wall. But I've been a 51 guy since I was a kid because of Days of Thunder with Cole Trickle. And I just love 51. I think it's a tough looking number, and it's just always been my number. So I don't know. Good question though. I'll have to think about that one.
And then I went through your website, uh, and it says that you guys consistently score the highest finishes for a single car Xfinity Series team, thanks in large part to the horsepower of Clement Racing engines owned by your father Tony and Uncle Glenn. So I guess how much pride does it give your team whenever you are like the best of like the small teams that don't get as much like funding and such and against like the powerhouse teams like JGR and Junior Motorsports and those people.
But yeah, some days that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna be the best of the smaller teams, and hey, sometimes that's a good day. I mean, you lack that little bit of speed. You're talking 2, 3 tenths off the big guys, the big teams, whatever, and you beat everybody else. I mean, and say you finish 12th or 13th, and all the rest in front of you are big teams. I mean, you got to look at that and say, okay, that was a good day. I mean, how do we get better? But I mean, so you got to look at any kind of small victory you can, so you just don't, you know, just get defeated really, because I mean, I raced my whole life, won a lot, and then I got to this. It's been a battle for sure, Obviously a lot more loss than victory, so it's tough to sustain it and keep yourself going and keep motivated. But guess there's that will to compete and keep going and keep wanting to see how we can do and get better, and that's fun, to try to figure all that out and then see it come into to, to fruition. So I guess when I lose that fire inside of me, that's when I need to stop.
And then I mentioned about Joe Gibbs Racing, and you actually had the opportunity to test and qualify for their car when Kyle Busch was out of town. So I guess the experience you had in 2008, I guess like the working with those guys, did it help you to where you are now, like gain experience and such? Because that was like early on your Xfinity days too.
I would say like that was 08, 09, I think. And back then they had a test team in Cup. So I did some of the testing there and just proved to me, honestly, I could do it. Never drove a fast car like that. And I was like, either these guys are just really good or I'm really bad. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I was like, let me just see how this goes in a fast car. And finally got in a fast car, and it's like, oh yeah, okay. It's not these guys aren't Superman here. That's just these cars are just stupid fast. You see it all the time every year. You got inexperienced drivers driving these fast cars, big teams, and they're up on the board. The cars are just fast, man. And if the driver can figure out how to hold the pedal down and not wreck it, they're going to be up there. So that just proved to me that I could do it. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like I'm driving my car 110% every lap, and you know, killing this thing, and their car you drive it like 85%. You're like, oh, you're P2. It's like, geez, it's just crazy. So that was a lot of fun, great experience, and just made me thirsty for more. I was thinking, well, maybe I could get a ride, and maybe I could try to get in there, but it's just so expensive. I mean, the funding it takes to go to a team like that is we're running on you know an eighth of the budget maybe. So it's just never had the funding to go to a team like that basically.
And then I talked about your early years, but now in 2024, you have 464 overall starts now, which is crazy,
Whew,
fifth all
that's a
time.
lot.
Um, like how
That's a
wild is
lot.
it for you to realize like how many races you competed in now, in this year of 2024 now?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's crazy. I would say. I mean, when you said that, I'm like, wow. I don't think about that a lot, really. Um, that I know when I got into the top five, I didn't even really pay. I wasn't even paying attention until it came out. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, never sought out to be this way, but here we are, and it's kind of happened. But that's pretty damn cool, and I hope you know that I can continue. Like I said earlier, as long as the fire's still burning inside me to go out and do this, I don't see why I won't be here a lot longer to be that number one guy one day. But I want more victories, of course. I want more top fives, top tens, and more victory, more checkered flags. That's what I'm after. But that's when those starts accumulate.
Yeah, and you mentioned going number one. I think the leader, I forget the driver's name, but
It's
you're
Kenny.
only
It's definitely Kenny Wallace.
yeah, I think I remember now Kenny Wallace, and I think you're only like 90 some starts away, so I think that's like 2 seasons and a half or something. So
We got that.
yeah, definitely
I
attainable
mean,
there. Yeah.
I still feel like a young man, dude. I can get it. I mean, that's nothing. That's fine. As long as we can keep the money flowing behind us, that's the hard part.
And then the unique position for you, you get to see like new drivers coming in, coming out in the Xfinity series over the years because of some transitioning from truck to Xfinity or Xfinity to Cup. So I guess how long does it take throughout the season to get used to driving against those new drivers? Because like a lot of drivers have different racing styles and stuff. So I guess how long does it take throughout the season to finally get used to competing against some of the newer ones?
Definitely takes a little while. I mean, you go to Daytona and Atlanta, the second race, and then Vegas, Phoenix, and probably right after then, you've kind of figured out who is who and who's in what car. You got a lot of guys in different cars, different teams, and you're gonna be confused at first, kind of like going to school the first day. You don't know who's who, but you get acclimated, and then you know you figure out who you're racing with, how they race, and things like that. So I'd say after the first four, you kind of have a good feeling of who you're around and who you're with, but you never know. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't seen the entry list. I don't know if it's even out there yet. I don't think it is. It's never out till the week of the race, but I just know there's a lot of good teams, a lot of different drivers. The smaller teams they're going to be even better. And then Gibbs got four teams, Junior has four. That's eight already. Two RCR cars, the Stewart Haas car. There's so many good cars. Colleagues got four going to Daytona. I just saw. It's like, oh my goodness, it's stacked, man. This is it's gonna be a crazy year, and it's very competitive, and it's very good to see how healthy it is. But at the end of the day, you want to be in it well established too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Justin Allgaier, I think he entered the Cup, I mean the Xfinity series like around the same time as you. And I think I was reading an article earlier that he was saying good words about you and like how you've developed your small team over the years and stuff. So I guess how much does it mean to have a friendship with Justin and such? Because you guys started together.
Well, we've raced a long time for sure. You know, racing ARCA, he had his own team, and so did I. And then, yeah, Justin's been very successful and won last year. He won a few races, did really good, and really hard competitor. I mean, he'll put it on your door, you know, and not cut you any slack. But such a nice dude, very talented, very well spoken, easy to get along with. Off the track, on the track, hard racer. You know, might not give you all the space you want because you're racing and it's hard racing. But uh, I do like Justin a lot. Think the world of him. Him and his wife Ashley, and good people, awesome people, amazing people. So I know he's a year. I think he's a year younger than me. So I hope we can both continue to race as long as we're still having fun. And he's in a very good opportunity, and he's had you know, Brant been behind him for a number of years, and that's really cool to see too. So always happy for Justin, and but at the end of the day, I hope I beat him too.
And and he's like I think it's like the second most starts out of current drivers in Xfinity series. So maybe one day when you guys hang it up, like you guys be 1-2 in the start list.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I want to beat him. Like I want to be above him at something. So I guess we'll just keep going until he quits. Since yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
And then And then I guess as you're a veteran driver in the series now, I guess the perspective as going through like your perspective as a veteran driver, how do you think like when you started in like 2010 or no, it was like 2008 you started. How do you think like the racing etiquette has changed over the years? Like do you think it's changed a lot over the years? Like do you see like less give and take now on the racetrack that you've probably seen before when you started?
I had to say so, man. It's pretty tough. I don't know what it is. I guess just the way the people were raised or something. I don't know. That there's really not a lot of good etiquette on the track. A lot of times, you got guys in fast cars, like I said earlier, that don't give you anything, and I understand that for sure. But like when you're both battling and you're just you know about to wreck each other, somebody's got it needs to give unless it's at the end of the race or a lucky dog or stage break. Those three things. Besides that, I mean, I just think a little give and take smarter. I just grew up watching guys like Mark Martin race, and uh, watching him is kind of what taught me when you get in these longer races, you can give and take, you know, and I like that, and I try to do that with guys and play it smart, not do dumb things. But yeah, just a lot of the younger guys just don't do that really. They just 100% and stick it in a hole. They see it and do a lot of things I just question. But it is what it is now. You just got to remember that. And I look at guys like you know JJ Yaley and Justin and Ryan Sieg. I raced well with him. Timmy Hill. I'm just naming golf off the top of my head. Guys that I've raced with that do the same thing I kind of do there. So we still there's a few of us left out there, but it's definitely less than ever.
Yeah, definitely. And then do you ever like because you're an experienced driver, do you ever is there any like young drivers that ever walk up to you and ask for some advice on the racetrack, like racing and such, like how to race and such?
Oh, dude, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like there's been a lot of these track walks, and you're on them, or uh, like Chicago, we did the track walk, and unless I can't even think of Portland, think places like that. Just talking to different drivers, to try to hit you up and think, see what you're thinking, and but honestly, try not to tell them everything. I know at the end of the day I'm racing them, so I'm like just trying to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you everything, but I'll tell you a little bit. I'm selective with what I tell them. So it's kind of funny, really, because
Yeah.
they probably already know that, but they're just trying to pick up anything they can. But they're like, "Well, as the track, goes, how do you do? Where the line's going?" And I'm like, I really don't want to tell them.
Yeah,
I
def
mean, I had to learn it myself too. I remember I walked up to Tony Stewart at Texas back when it was the way before it was reconfigured, and he was in a Gibbs car, and our car was just awful through the bump in 1 and 2 over the tunnel. And I said, what do you do through that bump in 1 and 2, Tony? And he's just like, I just drive through it. Car's great through it. Okay, cool, thanks. So I don't know, man. It was. I remember I asked Boyer at Darling first time I was at Darlington. I was like, how do you drive that track? This track, right before practice, and he's like, "Oh, you're a dirt race. You'll figure it out." I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know, man. I never really got a lot of good advice from guys. I don't know what it was. It's like nobody wanted to tell me anything.
Yeah, that reminds me, like I feel like Dale Earnhardt did the same thing because he was so successful at Daytona and Talladega, but he never like revealed everything like to me as that he then everyone else would beat him then.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that rookie is liable to grow into a potential winner and be battling you every weekend. So I don't, you just want to be selective in what you say. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely. And then I guess we'll go back to like the very beginning. So you were born and raised in South Carolina. Um, and the first thought I got is there like any like drastic differences between like the beaches of South Carolina, like Myrtle Beach to like Daytona Beach?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. I like going to both. I mean, I'd rather probably go to Myrtle just to get away. Daytona is nice too, but it's just different. I don't know. It's just different. It's my wife loves Charleston, so she always wants to go to Charleston if we have a little chance to go away. But I don't know how they're. I don't right off the top of my head. I don't know how they're different. Just different. Seems like there's a lot more stuff in Myrtle Beach to do, really. But then Daytona's close to Disney. I love going to Disney and Universal Studios, so I always try to sneak away to do that if there's time. But so yeah, different reasons for different places, right?
Yeah, definitely. And do you think it'd be really cool, like when NASCAR started, like they raced on the beaches at Daytona? What would you think it'd be pretty cool if they did that again, like just for a throwback for a season or
Yeah.
so?
I mean, why not? Let's try it out. I don't know how it worked, but I mean, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm always up for something new, and that's adventurous. So why not? I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, there's no more dirt races, so let's make a beach race.
And then Darlington is the only track in South Carolina the Xfinity Series competes in right now. So if NASCAR would happen to add another South Carolina track on the schedule, what track would you want to be added the most?
Wow. I don't know, man. Right off the top of my head, I mean, ask what other asphalt tracks are there here that I don't. I didn't grow up, so like racing. I never even raced asphalt till I was 17, and it was at Talladega.
Yeah,
So I
out of all
mean,
places.
yeah. So I'm just saying that I was a dirt track guy, so I was always. I don't even know what tracks in asphalt that are here. What do you know off the top of your head that you could tell me?
Um, Nothing I can think of in the top of my head. I know they used to race at Myrtle Beach actually, but I'm not sure if that was a dirt
Yeah,
or asphalt. Is that
it
dirt or
was
asphalt?
asphalt.
Asphalt.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say Myrtle Beach, which they used to race at, but they tore it down. Greenville Pickens, obviously, I don't know what's going on with it's non-existent right now. So those were the two that came to my mind that but they're both kind of gone. Well, one's gone for sure. But yeah, that's what I would pick if they were still around.
And then speaking of South Carolina tracks, going back to Darlington, um, I feel like would this be like a bucket list item? Like if how monumental would it be if you won at Darlington, like in their home track?
Yeah, it'd be huge, dude. It would be so much fun, and we always have a lot of family and friends there, and it's our home track. And that track is so much fun as it is. It's one tough SOB, but it's so much fun. One lap you love it, the next lap you get in the wall, you're like, dang it. So I mean, it's very challenging. You got to be on your toes, on your game the whole time there, every lap, every corner. But we've run good there before, and I always cherish going to Darlington. I always love it. I went there as a kid. My grandfather took me, and I remember sitting in the grandstands watching the races, just thinking, God, I'd love to race here one day. It'd be so cool. So every time I go to Darlington, man, I just love it and I cherish it. Can't get enough of it, really.
And then your early upbringings you mentioned was dirt racing. So I guess do you miss racing on dirt, or are you glad that you're asphalt racing now?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I miss it so bad. I mean, I keep up with it. I watch all the Lucas Oil and World Outlaws races, and we have a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of dirt late model engines in the field, so I keep up with all that. But yeah, in a perfect world, I'd be racing that stuff all the time too. It's just so hard and money driven. I sink everything I get from all our partners into this deal behind me, and we started out racing dirt and ARCA, like I said, and some Xfinity here and there, and it was way too much out of the same hauler, and we weren't full time either one, and just it is just way too much to do on your own. If I could just show up and bring my helmet and get in the car, I don't have to work on it, think about it, tell it like drive the hell out of it, tell them what it's doing, what I need, and say have a beer afterwards with them, but then say see you at the next track. I'm in. But yeah, I mean, maybe I can work one of those deals out. I mean, if I can go over there and sneak an engine away, maybe I can get one at night when everybody went to bed. But and bring it to a team. But I love to race dirt again, and dirt racing I think is the best form of racing out there, really.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I guess like going back, like you mentioned, like giving mentorship to some drivers. I guess when you were in those footsteps, like when you first started, is there a driver that pops up in your mind that you remembered was really like helped you so much, like in your early upbringings in the Xfinity series?
Oh man, in the Xfinity series, Jeff Green, I would say. Jeff was always so nice to me. And man, that dude could get it done. He was a hell of a wheelman. But yeah, I think Jeff Green. I always tried to talk to him and ask him anything I could. He definitely mutually respects me, so that was always cool. And I miss having him at the track because he's just such a good dude and always smiling at you and just easy to talk to, fun to talk to. And then on the racetrack, we raced hard, but never had anything bad happen either way. So that was always fun. So yeah, I'd say Jeff Green.
And then NASCAR debuted last summer at the Chicago Street Course. How do you think it went overall for like the industry, NASCAR, and then what do you think of the racing itself then?
Obviously, we had to battle the weather. The rain was terrible. I mean, dang, how does that happen? Like, just the most rain they've had in so long. I mean, tires were floating away. I mean, our race got cut really short. I think it got cut short 20 laps into it. No telling how many laps was under caution that anyway. And we we had brake problems in qualifying, so we had to start last and then finish 20th. And we actually pitted, and a lot of like 15 cars didn't. So we were going to be sitting pretty if we could got that race restarted to have a good have good track position. And unfortunately, it didn't get restarted, so we finished 20th. But it was a lot of fun to be there. I love the whole dynamic of being in a big city like Chicago and walking from the hotel to the track was so cool. And all the people in Chicago just kind of like, what's going on? And like, just I don't know, the whole I think it was a great idea. I do applaud NASCAR for the way they did all that, and hopefully we go back this year, it'll be even bigger and better, and we have no rain. That's what we can all hope for. No rain, please.
Yeah, you mentioned like like it like rained so much in Chicago, like an abnormal amount of rain. Like that usually seems to happen with NASCAR races, like the LA Coliseum last
Yeah,
weekend. So it's just
I know. It's something weird. I don't understand it. I hope we go to Daytona. We have to fight no rain, and it's always a pain in the butt to fight the weather. But nothing any of us can do. Nobody can control the weather but the good Lord above us.
yeah. And then I don't know if you know this, so you were born January 16th. Did you know you shared the same birthday as AJ Foyt?
Yeah, I think I did see that before. Like, when it's my birthday and you see whatever you see on social media. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool because he is definitely one bad dude in the driver's seat and could do it all. So yeah, that guy's a legend for sure.
And it's actually really cool that you share that same birthday as him specifically. Because there's actually a correlation with because your grandfather Crawford won the July 1964 Cup race at Daytona as a crew chief for Foyt, so that's a really cool dynamic there too.
I know that is cool. I'm glad you brought that up. I was so proud to be third generation driver to win there. In the Clements family. So that's just icing on the cake. And I know he's in heaven smiling down for sure. He's the reason I got started and wish he could be here now to we really need his brain power. He was so smart. He was man, he was smart. He passed away when I was like 12, I think, and or 11 or 12. But yeah, I know he's proud and that's where my dad and my uncles get their smarts from for sure to build these engines and be able to do the things they do. I just somehow I miss that part of it. I just want to be the driver. Don't care about working on the engines.
And then your first race or your first win came in 2017 at Road America, and I saw the Victory Lane clip, and the first person you hugged in Victory Lane was your father. So I guess what has your father meant to you over the years? Because it probably would be hard to with the race team you have to do it alone, but to have your father by your side and helping you with every step of the way too.
I mean, he's certainly been here the whole time, the whole way, every moment. When Crawford passed away, my grandfather, I was go-kart racing. He was taking me and Jason, my brother, and I had to go get a ride because he didn't like go-kart racing. So uh, after the go-kart phase, I hit 13 and I was like, I'm ready to drive a race car. Dang it. So we went and bought this old 4-cylinder car for $2,000 and started racing that. And yeah, from then on, basically he's been with me every step. And it's tough, honestly, racing with family because there's been a lot of times where I get a little angry that we might be holding back some certain things, but we're still here too. So those things can get hard to grasp. Of why are we not buying everything we can buy when you want to compete and go good? And over the years, that definitely gets to you. So, but besides that, I mean, he's kept me racing, and I owe everything I've done to him for sure because he's made it happen for me. And yeah, so it's been a long ride together, and hopefully we can keep it trucking and keep it going. And I think he still enjoys it. I don't know. I know he loves to go, and he don't. He works so much. I think the race is kind of his getaway.
And then so unfortunately the first race you didn't get to celebrate or or the second race then you got to celebrate with your wife Courtney in Victory Lane for the
Yeah,
first time at Daytona. So what did it mean to you to get to celebrate with her for the first time in Victory Lane? And then just the emotions of that night as well as winning at Daytona is like the most historic race to win at.
man, it was amazing. It was so cool. I mean, it was. we had Courtney there, and then we had a bunch of our partners and friends, and my aunt Connie and Taylor were there, her daughter. So it was just there's so many people there that was like it was so cool to win. And then we stayed up partying until 7 a.m., man, and then we woke back up at 10:30 and just kept it going. So it was amazing, and just very grateful for that opportunity to win at Daytona, and something I'll definitely never forget and always cherish. So glad that my wife could be there to celebrate with us, and uh, we have pictures everywhere of that. So it's just so cool to always look back at that, think of how good that felt. So we want more. We want more. We want to start next weekend and do it again.
Yeah, the perfect place to Daytona because that was where your second win came from is the first season opener. And then your father Tony was interviewed after the Daytona victory, and he said that he only helps your team because of you and not himself. So what does those words mean to you as well, just from your father?
Well, that's I would certainly agree with that. I mean, I don't. I think he grew up racing and he raced a while, and then they decided like we got to do something to make money and be able to support our family and stuff. So I think he's just trying to give me what he wanted for himself back when he raced and give me the opportunities that he didn't get. But again, he sees that I can do this. Obviously, if I couldn't, we dang sure wouldn't still be here because it's too damn expensive and it's too much work and all that stuff. So as long as I could, he sees that I have talent, and he's been there with me every step of the way, and so I'm very grateful for that. But that is pretty cool to hear him say that.
And then going to back to Darlington, like that's like the place where throwback schemes happen. You have endless amount of schemes I have written down that you've done over the years. I'll name a few of them, and I guess you can say like which one stands out to you. So this year you did Jeff Bodine throwback, like in his 100 days. You did a Dale Earnhardt Bud Moore last year, and then Dale Earnhardt 1956 pink throwback, this first ever race car. Dale Jarrett UPS throwback in 2021. Uh, I thought this one was really cool in 2020, like when you had the five NASCAR champions from your home state in the side of your car, Buck Baker, David Pearson, Kelly Yarborough, and then Xfinity champions Sam Arden, Larry Pearson. And then you mentioned about Days of Thunder
Yep.
earlier. In 2019, you had um, that scheme that year. And then no one that stood out to me was 2016 when you had a Rex White throwback because your grandfather Crawford, we mentioned earlier, won a championship with Rex in 1960. So I just threw all those
Yep.
throwbacks to you. Which one, like, which out of all those that stood out, or some that I might have missed?
Dude, that's yeah, that's a lot. There's so many. We've had a ton of fun with that, man. I mean, the partners that we've had, everybody been very gracious to let us do fun things, fun schemes. And yeah, at the end of the day, we try to like get with them and figure out what they want to do if they have any ideas. And that's kind of where some of those came from, from them with their ideas. Uh, and I'm glad to bring it and do it again. And like last year with the Jeff Bodine scheme, he was there. Steve Carnes, First Pacific Funding, they're huge partners of ours, and that was his idea all the way. And I was like, yeah, let's go with it, dude. That's so cool. Like, let's see if we can get Jeff to come. Luckily, he was able to be there. He sat in the car. He signed my suit, right before the race, and we took so many pictures. And how badass is that to have Jeff Bodine, sit in your race car before you go out there? I mean, that's amazing. I've watched him growing up, and so yeah, just things like that have been so much fun. But I would say the one, I mean, they're all so cool. They're all so special in different ways. I'd say the one with my grandpa with yeah, probably so. The one I'm gonna go with the one with my grandpa, and that was probably my favorite because he worked with them and won the championship with Rex back 1960. So him and Uncle Lewis, they were the ones to do it. So yeah, probably I'd say that one just because of that reason. But the others are so cool. The Days of Thunder one, the Black Widow, um, man, so it's so much fun. So I'm looking forward again to this year too.
And then here's a curveball I'm about to throw to you because you probably had so many over the years, so many paint schemes. So I'm about to ask, what was your favorite non-throwback scheme you've ever had over your racing?
My fave, like just general scheme. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
just
saying?
general schemes, like one that stood out, like over when you started in Xfinity to now. There's been so many I know,
Oh
though.
gosh, yeah, dude, that's like wow, that's so many. I mean, I work really closely with our designer, Michael Maselli. He's an amazing designer. Does such good work, so fast too. And I could call him right now and be like, "Hey man, I need a design for Darlington Throwback this year." They'd be like, "All right, but I have it tonight." Like, he's just crazy, dude. So I don't know. I gotta say, like off the top of my head, Boost Pops because it's like it's just a bright, colorful car and it's got, you know, popsicles on it. That's kind of cool, and they're alcoholic popsicles, which taste great. So why not? I'm gonna go with that car because that's a fan favorite. Everybody loves it. I'd say the Wings Etc. car too, just because like there's chickens on the side of it. They're holding beers. One's got a little flag, JCR 51. That's kind of cool. So those things pop out in my mind that I like a lot.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you mentioned about Booze Pops. They're actually from South Carolina. Like they started in South Carolina, so that's very cool that you mentioned that one too.
Yeah, yeah, Woody. I met Woody, the owner, over Instagram. I just shot him a message, and then we talked on the phone for an hour. Yeah, he's been with us a few years now, and he's a veteran, and he just started the businesses really so he can hand it over to his daughters once they got older. So just pretty cool, man. You meet so many cool people that honestly probably never have the opportunity to meet if you weren't doing this.
And I saw that you actually have sponsorship for all 33 races this season lined up. So I guess even like before the season starts, like how relieving is it for your team to not worry about like the business side as much as finding sponsorship to just focus on like racing now?
Shoot, man, it's huge. I mean, we started working on that well before the schedule was out. In October, I think it came out, and we were pretty much just trying to piece them all together where you got a lot of partners and you want to try to give them what they want. Then some of them want the same races. So, but they've worked together and figured out who wants to be where for this year. And, we go to different tracks. We're going to Iowa this year. We took away Road America, which stinks. Really love racing there. And so, yeah, you just try to figure out where everybody can go. And if they can only do one, you try to give them the one they want. But then the ones that are doing the most, you want to give them what all they want. So it's a balancing act for sure. But Steve Carnes helped me out a lot with that, trying to figure out where everybody can go. And now we're just working on different associates for different races. But heck, the first right off the top of my head, I have a list on my phone, like nonstop, my album of everything going on. But the associates are full the first four, and then we have a week off and we go to Coda. Right off the top of my head, I don't know what we have all there, but yeah, just really figuring out getting some associates lined up. But besides that, I mean, yeah, we're looking good, and it's definitely nice to have that kind of just done, you know.
Yeah,
So
for
thank
sure.
thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad for you guys that you don't have to go through that those hurdles there. And uh I haven't mentioned your crew chief yet. Mark Setzer. He joined your team in 2021. So how much
Yeah,
of
I was about to say he's probably right behind me
oh,
somewhere.
he's right there. Well, I guess
No, I'm saying he probably is. I don't know where, but
yeah.
he's probably somewhere right here.
If he is there though, he'll hear the question. I guess how much of an influence has he had, like I guess, for your team? This is your fourth season together now.
Mark's been great, man. I mean, I watched him years ago, and when he was on the 55 V team or whatever, and thought he did a good job then. And then he went to Johnny Davis' team and did a good job there. And just thought, if we ever have the chance to work together, we should definitely take it. And then at the end of the whatever year it was, 2020, started just saying, "Hey, man, what you doing next year?" So he's been with us ever since, and sucker works hard. He's been a good leader and blessed to have him on the team, and hopefully he continues to want to stay here too. You know, we got to make him happy as well, and we got to both scratch each other's back. But he does a great job, and so glad we could win together, and we want to win more, and just trying to beef up the relationship, make it the best we can.
And then I guess with racing cars, I guess you're so used to it now, but in the like how do you like control your nerves though? Like did you have like the nerves like if you don't have it now, like did you have the nerves starting up like in like your rookie season of Xfinity or do you still have the nerves or how much nerves do you get like for NASCAR racing?
I would think like qualifying sometimes can be nervous just because you want to do good and you want to hit your lap right. Most of the tracks, weekends, we only have one lap. And that's kind of where the nervousness comes a little bit. You know, your heart might start racing a little bit before you go out there, but I'm able to battle through that pretty well. I don't have any much nervousness. That's the only thing I can think of really. But just out there by yourself, you got one lap, you got to hit it right. And you're pushing the car to its limit. That's that's when you're thinking, okay, just don't screw up, and then don't wreck too. So there's a lot going on there. Really, it's a lot of pressure on the drivers to do that week in and week out.
Yeah, you mentioned qualifying. Like it used to be like two laps. Now it's like one lap. Like what do you think of that new thing now with NASCAR?
Kind of sucks, but you know it is what it is. We don't get to make the rules, but like I'll give you an example. Bristol last year, first lap, car was tight, and or it was good, but it was a little too tight. So I pushed off two, kind of messed up the lap, and then the next lap I figured out what I needed to do, and I hit it, and we qualified ninth. So there's there's an example for you. Like two laps, figured out first lap what you needed, second lap you adjusted, drove the car a different way, made it better. But you don't get that opportunity most of the tracks we go to. So that, like I said, that kind of stinks, but it is what it is. We're all in the same box, you know.
And then I guess you mentioned like that during that qualifying lap you were tight. If you can't have it completely perfect, like would you prefer a loose or tight car in general? Like in or does it depend on the racetrack too?
I was going to say that it depends definitely on the racetrack, in my opinion. You know, some tracks you might want to be in qualifying, you might want to be just if you, I guess you might want to be a touch tight. You know, if you gotta go one way or the other, because you're gonna be in the gas way more than ever, most likely. You know, obviously to go fast, especially these mile and a halfs where you're just about flat foot, if not just rolling out of the gas just a little and back in it. And yeah, if the car's loose, boy, I mean it gets uneasy for sure. But then there's some tracks, yeah, you might want to be free, like a road course. You don't want it to be tight there for sure. So yeah, different tracks, different things you want, but 90% of the time the car ain't gonna be perfect anyways. You better figure out how to drive it either way it is.
And I guess growing up, did you have a favorite driver growing up or not really?
Yeah, man, I watched NASCAR since I was a kid. I used to race. I used to wear these T-shirts to school. You know, different drivers every day. Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, Bill Elliott. You know, it had like the car on the front. It had their name. I think I wore a different one every day to school in elementary. But I was a Kyle Petty fan. I loved the mellow yellow car, and I just thought that car was so cool. And then Kyle with his hair, he looked different, and yeah, I just always was drawn to him for some reason.
Yeah, well, the Kyle Petty Mel Leola car looks similar to the Cole Trickle car you were mentioning earlier, like the 51 car. So I could see that too, though.
Oh, dude, definitely yes. I mean, that's another reason I like the 51. You know, it was Meliella car too.
And then, I guess growing up too, like you went through like elementary, middle school, high school. Like, Did you try any sports like throughout that time, or you just focused on racing the whole time?
Never did any sports. I mean, I played basketball, with my friends in the mornings, and then at lunch outside. I remember at middle school, and I loved doing that. But besides that, no, not competitively. I didn't never. I was always racing. Like every weekend, I was racing, and it's all I had on my radar. Every moment of school was to go to try to race that weekend. That was all what it built up to. So yeah, I've always raced since I was a kid, and even in high school, I didn't even take a foreign language class because I was like, hey, I'm not going to go to college. So can I not take a foreign language class? And, they saw me racing, at Charlotte Motor Speedway and ARCA races. And we finished third those two times, like my high school year, my senior year, I mean. So they knew I wasn't lying. But yeah, I did. I missed graduation because of race. Didn't, it's funny, like looking back at all a bunch of things like that.
And I guess keeping at the sport topic, like, besides racing, is there any other sports you like to watch on television or in person?
Oh, definitely, dude. I mean, I love going to baseball game, basketball game, football games. I love hockey. I love going and honestly drinking a beer, having some popcorn or a bratwurst, and hanging out with the boys or whatever. So yeah, I love doing all that kind of stuff. Definitely be watching the Super Bowl this weekend, and I've been to this year alone. I've been to the Chiefs game or last year. I'm so sorry. Chiefs, Panthers game, Charlotte Hornets. Um, we went to a basketball. Who did we see? We went to Phoenix Suns game. They played San Antonio and saw the 7'4" guy, whatever his name is. But
I think
yeah, so I
Victor
love.
Wembanyama, I think his name.
There you go,
It's like
Wimignana. Yep,
a crazy Wembanyama. It's like a crazy like
yeah,
last name.
that's right. As soon
Yeah.
as yeah, Wimignana. So went and saw him. Yeah, I like going and doing that stuff. That's fun to me. And wish the Panthers were better. I wish our Charlotte teams were better. It's kind of it stinks. They're not that good, but hopefully they'll turn around. Went to a Braves game. Love going to those. So yeah, I love going any chance I get. I love seeing new stadiums and like I said, having a cold beverage and eat something like a bratwurst or popcorn or something.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I guess like you had I don't know how much of it you had during the off season, but like how much free time, but what do you enjoy to do in your free time though?
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah. Like what is free time, dude? Like, oh my God. I as older I got, like I like going to movies. Like it's kind of chill when you can just go and try not to look at your freaking phone, and just kind of disconnect and get away from it all. That's kind of relaxing to me. But dude, I like I said, we talked about it at the beginning of this. I like doing stuff like you said, whitewater rafting. I love amusement parks, escape rooms. I'm always dragging anybody I can to an escape room. Probably do one this weekend, maybe if I can get away from here. Do one last hurrah here. I'll drive the guys to one on the race weekends. I make them do them, and they don't have a lot to say so because half the time I'm driving the rental car. I paid for the room. Yeah, so here we go. Really don't have no they don't have say so. So yeah, I mean, uh, things like that, just camaraderie with people, and maybe having a beverage with them, and uh, play a little Xbox at night, maybe if I can. But man, I'm so damn tired at the end of the night. Like by the time I get a chance to sit down, I'm about half asleep
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely just the grind of racing, I think, yeah, definitely just gets to you over time.
for
Um,
sure. Yes.
and then everyone at Pit Pass Network enjoys to donate to a charity after each interview. So is there like any charity you'd like to highlight for us that we can donate to?
Man, that's so cool. Yes, I do give all the time to MRO, which is Motor Racing Outreach. They've been around so long. Uh, give to FR1, which is Lonnie Klaus's uh, deal where he helps police officers basically. Um, I'd I'd say one of those. Um, man, I don't. I mean, what are y'all? Maybe I could like y'all could give me one. I'll give you one or something. I said both of them, and I don't know which. I can't. It's hard to pick because I give to both, and I love both.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, both of them would work. Yeah. Yeah, thanks so much, Jeremy. And then I guess just ending the interview now, I guess I always have like fun questions lined up for all the interviews. So,
Okay.
I guess the first one, uh, oh man, I have so many questions here. Have you ever been overseas before?
Yeah, on our my honeymoon, we went on a cruise out of Rome, and it went to obviously Italy and Greece and uh, yeah, let's say Greece and Italy, and what there's like three different deals. I can't remember. Uh, but that was amazing. I love to go back. I love the food. The food was phenomenal, and it's like every time you sat down, there was just wine. Like it was like water. Water was wine there. It was like so weird. Kind of like at first I was like, okay, I guess I'm drinking wine. I'm like, I didn't even want it, but I guess I'm drinking it because it's sitting here. So that was so cool. But the food, I want to go back. I love the food. So yeah,
And then the second one, what's your favorite midnight snack?
used to be like Oreos and milk. Like a big cookie with the whipped cream in it that you get at the mall. They're like the
I think it's whoopie pies.
what is it? Yeah, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, those are awesome with some ice cold glass of milk. That used to be the ticket, but now I'm trying to stay away from that. As I gotten older, it's like for a guy, it's like all your food just if you don't work out, stay in shape, you it's gonna go to your gut. So I don't want that.
Yeah, you know that especially with racing too. And then if you had to choose one, Mexican or Chinese food?
I love them both, but if I had to choose, I guess Mexican. I because I love some chips and queso and salsa and a margarita.
And then I guess the next one, did you have any nicknames growing up or do you have any nicknames now?
I do. It was Jughead because I used to over in the engine shop. It's 2 stories. On the second story is just like boxes and storage up there, and had like a fort. And I would just terrorize the guys like up there. Like I'd shoot rubber bands, I'd throw stuff at them, and I wore like a cut off milk jug around my head. I don't know why. Like I said earlier, I was a maniac. So I was just uh, don't know why I did that, but they'd call me Jughead. So
That's
yeah, it's
so
basically Jug.
yeah, that's so funny. And then I guess would you prefer like it, with like chicken wings, bone-in or boneless wings, and then your favorite flavor?
Oh, dude, like first of all, boneless wings are just chicken nuggets. So come on with
I
that.
agree with that.
I love chicken wings, like regular chicken wings, flats, drums, whatever you got. I like them all. It was kind of funny. The Hot Ones show, I watched that one, and my cousin Jake, he ordered the hot sauces. So a few days ago, we did the challenge, and I doused all of. I didn't just dab them. I doused them like half the wing in the sauce, and holy crap! At the end of it, I wanted to cut my tongue off. The last three were just god awful, and I love hot sauce, but they were terrible. They didn't even taste good. They were not good. They were so hot, and I was just breathing fire. Um, I was the only one that did the last uh all of them, honestly. The others didn't do the last two or three. So favorite sauce is like something spicy. I'm always like looking for a spicy jalapeno, chipotle, garlic, something or another like that.
What was the after effects of like afterwards like for you with that challenge you did? What like how long did it take your mouth to recover from that?
It wasn't good, dude. I mean, it was I didn't have any milk. I don't Yeah, I didn't have any milk for sure. I was drinking beer and the beer was not helping. So it's just funny that it took a while. It took a while. I mean, I was running around like, oh my God, when's this gonna stop? I was uh I was miserable there for a while, probably at least 30 minutes, like where it was like, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. So yeah, I have that hot sauce still, but I'm gonna throw that crap in the trash.
One and done.
That's right. Yeah, but I love it. I'd go on that show in a heartbeat. That's a very cool idea. And it's the sauce even says like don't put more than a dab of this on there. And I'm like, ah, hell of that. Just
And then I guess keeping at the foods, favorite ice cream flavor.
man, I like to be adventurous. I like a peanut butter, snickerdoodle, cookie dough. I mean, I like any of those kind of flavors. I don't like just vanilla or chocolate or strawberry, but I'm not picky, man. As the older I've gotten, the more I'll just eat whatever. But I like, yeah, peanut butter cookie dough, something like that.
And then do you know how to play any instruments?
Hell no. The only instrument I could play was like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, and I couldn't even do the guitar. Really. I was the drum guy on the Rock Band set on the on the Xbox a long time ago when they had that. But no, I couldn't. I'm not talented in that region at all.
And then what's your favorite music genre and favorite artist and song of that genre?
Well, growing up, I was a country guy. Listened to that because they played in the shop all the time, which they do now. But I like hard rock. I kind of like harder rock, which not like screaming and I still like to understand what they're saying, but kind of harder rock. But I listen to Octane on XM a lot. Um, I can't even think. You said the favorite band? Heck, I don't even know. Right off the top of my head, uh, not like Five Finger. They're too hard. I was trying to think like Sleep Theory, Seven Dust, things like that. I don't know, like in that genre of music. But like I said, some of them are like, okay, that's too hard. I don't like that. But that's what I like to listen to, especially when I go run or work out.
Awesome. Well, so thanks so much, Jeremy, for joining us. Been a great time getting to know more about your journey in racing and yeah, and wish you the best of luck this coming season. Should be exciting. Daytona is crazy. It's like a week and a half now away. Or
Yeah,
9 days now, like in the single digits actually,
woo,
because today's Thursday. Your race is Saturday. Yeah, 9 days.
yeah, that's coming up
Craziness.
quick. Yes, I'm excited to hit the track. We do so much work and preparation to go do the part. That's the fun part. So I can't wait for that. But yes, thank you for having me on, Mark. Appreciate the time. Look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jeremy.